All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about our programming and our coaching, some things we're going to change up or try to improve or work on. But I also thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about our philosophy around both programming and kind of coaching at Upreach CrossFit. It became very clear on the survey that some of you guys that fill that out are either like new to CrossFit and maybe don't even understand the CrossFit methodology, or just have differing opinions on what programming should look like. And at the end of the day, we want to talk about our philosophy at Upreach, how we think about programming, how we think about workouts for longevity, for health. When I took over Upreach, like I said, at the forefront for me was coaching. I wanted to make sure that our coaches have the ability to coach. And it became very clear to me that it seemed like we were just trying to do too much in the hour, trying to do skill, strength, Metcon, do all of that stuff. And it was more like we were lifeguards or herding cats than we were actually able to break down and coach things. So Justin and I decided to go back to the roots of CrossFit, the original teachings of Glassman, right? Coach, as they call him. And the original CrossFit journal, you can go back and read. The foundations of CrossFit were built off the fact that in an hour class, you were coming in to do one thing and one thing only, whether that's an AMRAP, whether that's a for time workout, whether that's one strength component. And the thought process behind that is, in that hour, if you have one thing to do, you can give your all to it. Instead of trying to give a half-assed effort here and then here and then here, and by the time you get to the Metcon at the end, your energy's drained, you're getting kind of half-assed workouts in an hour. Let's give a full-assed workout to one thing. And so we did that. And when we instituted this, what we saw was two things. One, we had a better ability to coach. We were able to break down movement a lot better. We were able to slow things down. We were able to give people time in between their sets to make sure they were recovering. And then on the other end, for our members, we saw a precipitous drop in injury rate. Came down to almost nil, but we saw a huge increase in PRs. And this is from people who have been doing CrossFit for 10 plus years, right? They were like, I haven't PR'd my insert whatever in 6 years, and I did in our first strength cycle instituting this. Well, what we know is there's something called maximal recoverable volume. And it's just our belief that when you're trying to do all of this stuff in an hour, 5 days a week, you are far surpassing, that maximal recoverable volume. And that's what we'd see. Injury rates would go up, whether that's chronic or acute. PRs would go down. People would stagnate. I mean, at the worst case scenario, we'd start having hormone issues and recovery issues for people. So we saw a lot of positive benefits of going back to the original teachings of Greg Glassman. And that's kind of where that leads us to the two I's, right? Intensity and then intention. Let's talk about intensity first. Again, Glassman taught us that the number one lever to pull for increased fitness is intensity. Not 30, 40-minute workouts all the time, not all this volume. In fact, it's coming in and having the ability to push yourself to a place where at the end of the workout, you're on the floor breathing. And that just has to do with the effects after the workout, both from a metabolic perspective, from a hormone perspective. And that is what was taught to us as CrossFit level 3s and everything like that. And we believe in that as a coaching staff because we've been doing it for 10, 11 years and we've seen the payoff of holding to intensity. So this is why a lot of our workouts are 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes. You don't see historically a lot of workouts in the 25, 30, 40-minute range because we believe in intensity over volume. That's our belief. That's our philosophy. That's our virtue. We're not going to falter off of that too much. I decided to add one, intention. Now, this isn't something that's really talked about too much in the journal, but in this day and age where intention and attention is so strained, I thought it was crucially important also that we're able to come in and on a strength day, just focus on being intentional with movement pattern, with skill development. Again, instead of trying to rush through that so we can get to our Metcon or half thinking about the Olympic lifting we're doing and then half thinking about the time we want to get on the workout, let's just focus on one thing and get really, really good at it. And so we are guided at Upreach by the two I's of intensity and intentionality, okay? And we've been running that for about 3-4 years. Now, with all of that being said, at the same time, like all things get a little stale. And we run through different programs and cycles. And so some people like some cycles, some people don't like cycles as much. And that's always going to happen. We have certain members, you guys love the strength work and you hate the skill work. We have other people that love the skill work, hate the strength work, and so on and so forth. We're not gonna make everybody happy. There's 170 plus of you guys. But compromise, right? At the end of the day, this is your gym, your programming. We're gonna give you what you need, but we also want to give you what you want as well. And so our compromise here is through proper programming, I still believe we can get in great coaching, and through proper class flows, which we'll talk about, I think we can still get in great programming. And so a lot of us are on the new program, right? Monday, we do have a strength and then a short Metcon. That way we can still give as much time as needed to the strength component so we're not rushing. We have a longer, more high skill, higher weight workout. I'm calling that kind of taking the RX Plus workout to the middle of the week. You know, we have still our intention day. We have as of right now, it's Olympic weightlifting, but that might turn into a skill in the future. We have the day where we're working on getting better technique-wise or skill development-wise. We have a longer kind of zone 2 cardio day, so we do have kind of a longer workout. And then we still have classic CrossFit, right? Our 4 rounds for time, 5 rounds for time, 15-minute AMRAP, 21-15-9, high intensity. And so far I've gotten a lot of great feedback on people loving the new programming, and it's going both ways. I'm loving the new programming as well as I do our programming as an athlete. But as a coach too, we're still able to get a lot of good coaching in. And part of that's coming from class flows. So on our end, I have developed a full class flow document that me and the coaches are following. And this is to help keep us on a timeline. One of the pieces of feedback you guys got is that our coaching is fantastic. It's great. Feedback is awesome, incredibly knowledgeable. Area of improvement, let's stay on time. Heard, couldn't agree more. I'm one of the worst culprits with that. I like to talk a lot. I like to coach. And so it's just having an actual system in place on how do we stay on time. Now, part of that is we're gonna start on time no matter what, guys. So if you're somebody that's habitually late, it's just gonna be an expectation that you get right in wherever we're at. We're not waiting anymore. We're not starting at, 5:35 or whatever it is. We're starting right at 5:30 and we're gonna end at 6:30 as best as we can. And our coaches have a full class flow, like this is how long the warm-up should be taking, the workout, et cetera, et cetera. I've included warm-ups for them. There's also consistency from class to class with that. You may be seen on SugarWOD putting up the modifications that are expected, so all classes are holding to that. And so that also allows us to get more in the hour. If we're holding to class flows, we can kind of get more in, still get good coaching in. And I think there's a good compromise there between giving you what you need, which you guys need coaching. You do. Okay, you need coaching, you need to learn how to do this stuff right, you always need to get better. Nobody in here is an Olympian or anything like that, so we always need to get better, me included. But I wanna make sure you guys are having fun and feeling like you're getting the most out of your hour. And so I think this is a great compromise going on. Again, our expectation from you guys is help us with the flow. Try to keep your talking to a minimum. If you're talking, be smart about it. Is it while you're resting in between sets and that's a great time to talk? Awesome. Is it while a coach is talking and the coach is trying to get things going? Not a good time to talk. You're holding everybody back when you do that, right? You're making it about you. You have 12 people in the class. If you and one other person is talking while a coach is trying to get things moving along, you are bringing the whole class down. So we love the fact that we're a community, but let's be smart about how we talk and let's make sure the experience for everybody in that class is being heightened, okay? And that's, again, arrive on time. Be on time. I understand shit happens. You get out of work late. Traffic in Austin is traffic. All of that's undeniable. But if it's I rolled out of bed late or I was just being lackadaisical with time, let's try to keep that to a minimum and just be respectful. If you do come in late, hey, all good. Just get right in where you're at. Try to be smart. Don't hurt yourself, and let's try to be more on time with things. And then on the another coaching front, not that this is anything big for you guys, but we're going to be doing coaching in services every quarter. That's also going to act as our coaching meeting, but with the coaching services, going to be taking the coaches through different things to work on cues, different things to work on movement breakdowns. Again, that way we're continuing to elevate the coaching and keep it high as much as we can. But I hope that gives you a little bit of a bigger philosophy of what we have at CrossFit. At the end of the day, CrossFit is meant to be a high intensity interval training program, and that's what we do. We have a very clear value set with intensity and intentionality that guides our programming. We are compromising some. I think we're really melding the best of both worlds from a coaching perspective and a fun, what you guys enjoy perspective. And we'll continue to try to do that. Again, we're on kind of a 3-month cycle right now, and we'll try to do that again when we come up with a new cycle. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope it helps you understand a little bit of what's going on through our brains, my brain when I'm programming and thinking about how to guide you all into a fitter version of yourself. So appreciate it.